Subversive activity, peer into the lines of some foreigners. They act I don't have to do what other kind of people tell me. Secret policemen act with total impunity. Not even Congress can tell me what to do. No, man, cause I'm the secret policeman. Secret police, secret policeman. Secret police, secret policeman. Secret police, secret policeman. To the
spent my last bills on food, I'm counting change next. Well, they tell me to be a proud patriot of the home of the brave and land of free will. But money is freedom, so I'm just dreaming my dream still. If the price is right, I'd just be chill. But in this fast food nation, only thing free is a refill. And I've had enough of the poison. If you've had enough of the poison, the time is now. Make some noise, make some choices. They can't mute the sound of a nation of voices. This song is called United States. It's kind of my take on it. Thank you everybody for coming out and supporting this great event. It's good to see it happening. Some time ago would have been burning books or something like that, right?
Homeless and caged, thrown away in the United States. By some years of being sitting in the double top of trash, and that pocket bag. Here we stop and can, we complain about our taxes, but don't give a damn, man. It's not my fault they can't manage, right? It's not our fault we have an advantage, right? In the United States, divided by hate, smiles of fate. Look how many miles we paid in the United States. I'm trying to escape, we're gonna have a United States,
that's what revolution is. And if you're really for revolution, and this is for all of you out here, whether you think you're for revolution, whether you're uniformed police or undercover police, it don't matter. Revolution is about working with people every day to build a consciousness, winning the hearts and minds of people for uncompromising change. So the only way you can do that, you can't be impatient. If you're impatient, you ain't a revolutionary. You gotta work with people every day. This is what I do. You gotta teach people to read. You gotta work with people. You gotta get people to understand concepts. You gotta show them why socialism is a good thing. You gotta combat all this negative propaganda. If you ain't down for that, you ain't down for revolution. And the reason why I know that is because I had great mentors. I was mentored by Kwame Ture, who you would call Stokely Carmichael. I was mentored by Huey P. Newton. I was mentored by Assata Shakur. I spent time with these revolutionaries, and they taught me truth. So don't insult me by breaking a window and calling yourself a revolutionary. You ain't no revolutionary, you're a coward. If you're a revolutionary, you'll work with people for uncompromising change. We want you to do that. So that's enough on that. So we don't want all that nonsense here today. I don't want that in my name. I'm a revolutionary, and I'm for love. And Che Guevara talked about revolution is about love. I love people. Yeah, I'm angry about oppression, but I love all of you, and I want to keep you safe today. You'll love the people around you. And before I stop, I just want to tell you, turn to the person next to you and say, revolution is about love. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's take care of each other today, all right? Let's take care of this movement. Let's build it. Let's be serious. Let's stop playing games. And let's be about the business of bringing down this vicious, nasty power structure and replacing it with something that can be about people before profit.
First prime minister that was elected democratically in Iran and was deposed by a famous CIA and MI6 coup d'etat in 1953. The poem she's reciting today in Persian was written by late Hamid Mossadegh, which became a national chant by the Iranian students' movement for the past 50 years. It encourages people of Iran in their decades of a struggle for democracy and freedom to join hands. The theme is something like this: if I stand up, if you stand up, everyone will stand up and will fight the oppressors. If I don't become us, I am alone. If you don't join us, you are yourself. What if we make real the unison in the East? Who doesn't want us to join together? If I sit down, if you sit down, who will stand up? Who will fight for peace? Who will fight for justice? At the end of her reading, I will ask you to chant with us this last 4 sentences. If I sit down, if you sit down, who will stand up? Who will fight for peace? Who will fight for justice?
با سلام، من اعتراضم را به جنگ با ایران با سروده‌ای بسیار پرمعنا و تکان دهنده از شاعر گرانسنگ آقای حمید مصدق عرضه می کنم. ایران من، سرزمین پاکم، یادگار نیاکانم، تقدیم به تو، تقدیم به تو. من به خود میگویم چه کسی باور کرد جنگل جان مرا آتش عشق تو خاکستر کرد.
If I sit down, if you sit down, who will stand up? Who will fight for peace? Who will fight for justice? If I stand up, if I sit down, if you sit down, who will stand up? Who will fight for peace? Who will fight for justice? If I sit down, if you sit down, who will stand up? Who will fight for peace? Who will fight for justice?
Thank you so much for speaking. That was fantastic.
For peace and Jews all over the world who are against any military action against Iran. You know, my friends, if you think the war in Iraq was a disaster, get this. Iran is 3 times as populous and geographically much larger than Iraq. So multiply everything in the Iraq war by 3 to get the cost of a war against Iran. Iranian dead, 1 to 3 million. Iranians displaced, 12 million. Let's be clear. The U.S. has long had Iran virtually encircled as a result of the American occupation of Afghanistan. Its invasion of Iraq on its western border, its NATO ally Turkey hovering on Iran's northwest border, some degree of military relationship with Turkmenistan on Iran's northeast border, and multiple U.S. client states sitting right across the Persian Gulf, the home of the massive U.S. Fifth Fleet. Additionally, some combination of the U.S. and Israel has bombarded Iran with multiple acts of war over the last year, including explosions on Iranian soil, the murder of numerous Iranian nuclear scientists, and sophisticated cyber attacks. More so, and in many cases less, than the multiple regimes funded, armed, and otherwise propped up by the United States. Since Iran has not attacked the U.S. or Israel, a strike on Iran's nuclear facilities would be a war crime, especially since it would release radioactive toxins on the people of Iran and the people throughout the Middle East. Last year in our country, all 16 U.S. intelligence agencies concluded there is no military dimension to Iran's nuclear program. Nonetheless, the United States has heaped a crippling series of sanctions on Iran. And in spite of the Israeli government beating the drums of war, an astonishing number of Israel's top soldiers and spies are warning against bombing Iran. Not only would Iran definitely retaliate against Israel and America, but an attack could also radicalize Iranian and Arab politics in totally unpredictable ways. The Muslim world would understandably be outraged. Additionally, an attack on Iran would rally support around a very unpopular Iranian regime. Hitting Iran will be messy, explosive, and criminal. That's why Jewish Voice for Peace is absolutely against any military actions by Israel or the U.S. against Iran. Let me say it is long past time that we realize that in the next war, we and our loved ones could be Mustafa. Actually, in the next war, we and our loved ones will be Mustafa. For to stop this war, we need to understand that on each end of the gun, we're the same. No more war in my name. No more war in my name. Each end of the gun, we're the same. Thank you.